and welcome back. As much of the world is already shifted straight into Christmas after October, there are many of us who are not quite so quick to put up the twinkling lights and Christmas songs. And here in the United States, we have the holiday of Thanksgiving first, which is really important and prominent, and at least for myself and my family, that's the main holiday focus, at least for the next 2 weeks. Of course, when thinking of the first American Thanksgiving, it's a great yearly reminder to be extra thankful for every blessing. I am so thankful for my life and good health, my family, for a roof over my head every day, for any income I make, big or small, for a weekend away up in the countryside where the air is cleaner, for my mother's smile and my dad's strong voice, for each of my siblings, nieces and nephews in all their uniqueness. I'm grateful that I got to go apple picking for the first time in 3 years, and that I got to do so with my mother, one of my sisters, and my dear nephew.
Good job.
Shiny.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Appreciate how big this is? Massive. It's so heavy. Can you appreciate how big that is?
Rachel, it looks like twice your head.
Yeah. I could do exercises with it. You want to try? I'm gonna have to spot him.
Put a pumpkin on his head.
Okay, here. That's a good impersonation. Are you hungry? Oh, they all come over. Are you hungry? Look at those schnauzers. Look at that. Oh, baby one over here. You baby. You're just a little. I love that. So old.
I'm grateful for so many things every day, most of all for a God that allows so many blessings on humanity, a God who has been incredibly patient and merciful with us and proves that every day. I'm home and I wanted to do a little haul for you. I had a very short but very sweet time away. You could probably see just from the footage, it's so beautiful up there. And I was able to go apple picking, which I haven't done in, I want to say it was September of 2019. So a good 3 years since I last went apple picking. And it's something that I want to do every autumn season. I probably, like many of us, going to an apple orchard and picking your own apples, because there's just, they smell so good and they taste so much better when they're fresh. And this is a huge bowl of Granny Smith apples. And I mean, I wish they made a perfume that was an apple scent, that didn't have a bunch of other stuff with it, just sweet apple with that perfumey, alcohol-y type of bit with it, because I would wear that all autumn long. Anyway, so good. So happy to have had fresh apples. And I wanted to show you some of the squash that I got, because some of them I hadn't even heard of before. And let's see, got quite a few, considering, oh, they're falling, considering they're just for me. Okay, so first I got a spaghetti squash. I don't get these too often because I'm not a big spaghetti squash fan, but I have an interest for them every so often. So I think the last time I made spaghetti squash was a couple of years ago. So I'm looking forward to getting into this one and seeing if I can find a way to enjoy it better, because I would like to use this in place of actual spaghetti, and even if I can in place of zoodles, which is the zucchini spaghetti noodles, because I'm not a big fan of those either. I just like real noodles if I'm gonna have noodles. But again, one of my sisters is very into spaghetti squash, so I'm gonna ask her for some options on how to go about making it in a very delicious way. Then I got this beauty. This is called, what is it called? I think autumn frost squash, something like that. And this is natural. This is not dirty or dusty. It's just frosty looking, and it's so pretty. So I have these, I'm placing them around my home right now to look lovely, and then I will use them as I want. But this, I'm guessing it's similar to an acorn squash. I don't know, we'll see. I don't know if it has a sweetness to it. I've never had it before. I never heard of it before. But one that I know does have sweetness to it is this. And it kind of looks like a baby butternut squash, but it's actually a Honeynut squash. And I had this for the first time, I want to say last autumn. I'd found it in Union Square. So when I saw they had it at the farmer's market, I was very excited. And I just got one again because I got so many different squashes. I don't need all of that just for myself. But Honeynut squash, to me, is like the perfect mix of butternut squash with yams. So it's that kind of very sweetness, very, very sweet potato type flavor with a bit more of a butternut squash texture. And they're small like this, and they're just so good. If you can get your hands on some Honeynut squash, I do recommend you try it. I think you'll really like it, and you can use it in any way that you would use a butternut squash for. And speaking about butternut squash, I got a huge one, and I will probably roast some of this, or I actually think I might make soup with this. I think I'm gonna make butternut squash soup, and this will make me a good amount. And yeah, I could probably freeze some of it, but a good butternut squash soup, kind of like the one that you would get from Panera Bread around this time of year. Nice autumn, hearty flavored soup. So that's my plan for that. I have 2 acorn squash, and I use these every season, every year, every autumn. I really like acorn squash as well, so I got 2 of those. And then lastly, I don't remember the name of this one. I will put it up on the screen as well, but this, I don't know, it looked kind of like a UFO in squash form. My sister, who I was at the market with, knew something about these and she wanted to get a few for herself. So I went ahead and got one small one. They were big, they were much bigger than this, but I got a small one because I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And again, it's just me, so it should be enough for one meal. And that's all the squash that I got. The only other little bit that I got other little things like honey sticks. I didn't buy any corns, but one of my nephews found this on the ground and gave it to me, so that's really cute. I'm gonna put that around. I feel like I got other random things, but I think because it's already been over a week, I've used some of them in different ways. So I don't remember everything I got right now. If you have heard of some of these other squash varieties that I have not before, and you have a favorite way of creating a dish with them, I would love to know, so you can let me know in the comments below, specifically on these two. And that's it. Let's go make some apple butter.